triangle. Take the triangle. When Mario stands on 2 feet, you can imagine 2 imaginary triangles where Mario is the weakest. Point 1, point 2, point 3 is right about here. Point 1, point 2, point 3 is right about here. Can you imagine 2 triangles? Now, Mario is the strongest in this direction, but Mario is the weakest in either direction of either triangle. When you put your force into the third point of either triangle, we call it taking the triangle. And you can take the triangle with a push or a pull. So in this case, we're going to use Lansau not only as a same side grab, but to also take the triangle from Mario. So let's get open, Mario. I'm going to be on this side since you guys are here first. Now, I'm going to say Mario is going to be one of these big hook off the rear hand. That's the way 90% of your street fights start, with this guy throwing a big hook off his right hand. That's the way most people start a fight. And so what we're going to do is pretty much like what we did before. When Mario throws a hook, we're going to shoot Liu Zhongxiao into it. And of course, with the other hand up. So I don't walk into it. I stay where I'm at. I don't want to walk in when my opponent's throwing me a punch. It won't do me any good. It'll help him. I don't want to give him any energy to borrow. So I stay back and I shoot Liu Zhong into that punch. Now this time I'm going to use Lansau to take the triangle as I punch Mario and then punch him again. So I'm going to take the triangle 2 times. Because after I Liu Zhong, you see I'm going to pull Mario exactly there. And it's easy to pull him even if he's bigger than you, because he's weakest there. So after the Liu Zhong, I'm going to pull Mario and punch him like this. And of course I'm going to keep my hand up. If I could trap it, I would trap his hand. But I might not be able to trap it. If I could trap it, I would grab his hand right now. And then I'm going to go boom, and I'm going to punch into the other triangle, the rear hook. So what we're going to do when the lead hook comes is tan paksa, stop that hook. Then what you're going to do is you convert the tan to Lansau, and you're going to step and elbow him like that. Then you're going to cut right through and hit him with the same elbow 3 times. Okay? So we're going to go tan pak. The tan converts to line and pulls up the same side grab, and we're going to step in and elbow. Then we're going to cut back with the same elbow and finish with the third elbow. Through this elbow. If there's a way to defeat when someone does the Lansau pull on you, when they do the same side pull, there's an easy way to defeat it. For example, if Mario say does a bomb and then maybe does a Lan choke here, there's a way to defeat the Lansau pull, and that is when they pull, you step in with your own elbow. So there's every move in Wing Chun, there's always an answer. So one of the ways to defeat the Lansau pull is just to step in. Of course, I got hit in the ribs, but Mario ended up pulling my elbow into his own face too. So it's a little tricky to use when you get pulled. All right, did you change partners? Okay, next technique. All right, let's now start. The next main usage for Lansau. The next main usage. The first main usage, in my opinion, is the same side grab. And now we're going to talk about the next main usage, which is what I call a layover trap. A layover trap is when you trap both of your opponent's arms with your one arm. And we call it a layover. And that's why it's very important when you did the Chun form earlier, that when you do this, you have to be very square, and your arm has to be very low. If you go gong, lan, gong, this won't act as a proper layover trap, and you'll understand why in a minute. You have to be in Chun super square and super low. Looks like that. 1 fist distance. 1 fist distance when you drop the line in Chun And your palms turned away from yourself. Why? This is to simulate the layover trap that I'm about to show you. Now there's a couple ways to get it. One way to get it is to say that in a paksa cycle, when the leader does the pak to stop me. If I come in and he stops me, This is called layover trap. And you see that I have to be square. Because if I'm not square, number one, can't punch him. Number two, he can slip out right there. There's no pressure with my elbow. But if I stay square, I can lay on him. I put all my weight on him and still reach him with my punch. And that's what you want with a layover trap. You don't want it to be loose. You want it to be firm. But you won't defeat the yin yang structure. You won't kill yourself. You can put pressure, and the more pressure you put, the more it brings the shoulder in to the punch. But if you stay not square, you're going against yourself, and you're not going to reach, and your punch, even if it hits, it won't hurt, because there's nothing there. Your shoulder's stopping you. So here's what we're going to do. Leo's going to jab, and I'm going to go woo. Then I'm going to do pak da, and what I want to do is hit him, and he's going to stop me. So when he stops me, whatever the hell this is, my hand, I'm going to reach like this, and notice that I don't lose touch with this arm. I do not go like that. What I do is I go like this. My hand goes like a saw. And when I go from this, my hand saws across. And that ensures that I keep this hand under control. And I saw across, and once I catch this, I trap it as close to the bicep as I can. And then when I step, I put extreme pressure with this. So I can catch him with what's called a this is a classic layover trap. Yeah? So it's going to be Musa on the V, cocked out, and he's going to stop it. Then this hand is where I really want you to pay attention. I want this hand to saw, not lose touch, but to like already becomes lanza. And with the touch not lost, we catch. We apply extreme pressure as we step in. And notice I kind of push his hands like out of my way. I don't want it to be like in my way. I kind of go like this. And now, boom, I can pace him real good. And he's all trapped up. And the footwork helps to trap him up. Because if I don't step, there's going to be space. But if I step, I cramp them all up to get all over his schoolmate. It's grill right up in his grill. Okay? So close. Some of you guys have nice shirts on. But sometimes they grab you by the shirt and they're like this to you, right? So, or with one hand. You're like, right? So this is another way to use lanza as a layover trap. When Leo grabs me my shirt, what I'm going to do is like that. And there's a layover trap, a couple of them. Now watch. There's two layover traps happening. There's one, and I go. I keep this one, and I can switch if I want to. Okay? So all you need to know is, he's got you by the shirt. Like suit and tell? You go, yes, master. Boom. And you can just sit there and hit him forever. If he won't let go, just keep hitting him. Now, if you're right-handed, I would use my right hand. In other words, if you're right-handed, I would put my left hand on the bottom first. Headbutt, so my right hand would be free. And then just start hitting him. Okay? And of course, you have knees. We're talking about lanza today. All right? This is what we're going to do. Line, chop, trap, punch. And if you really want to mess them up good, you go line, bam, chop, and then you go step off. Make sure you hit it before your punches to enter. So we're going to do a few different examples of how that works. So lanza holds line open. Leo, hold it. Now let's say that Leo was trying to punch down to get my hands to come down so he could then knock me out with a high punch. A lot of people do that. Boxers will do it, street fighters. They try to get your hands to come down so they can hit you up high. It's not quite a fake, or it might be a fake. So what we're going to do is we're going to use gumsa here. And then we're going to raise palm. Now you notice his hand is out of my way now. his hand is not in front of his face anymore. Normally, if they punch, their other hand is up here, so you can't do what I'm about to show you. But if they've done the low punch and you smacked it down, their hand is not in your way now. So what you're going to do now is use lan sao, not lap sao, but lan, to punch through the hole, like this. And so if you use lap, you block yourself. So it wouldn't work. But you use lan, and you make him do lan, and you can punch through the hole, like this. Then what we're going to do after this is we're going to bring this hand back, like in Sinup Tao backwards. So we're going to bring it back, and we're going to step like this, and smash it down to the ground by the throat. So it is closed. It's going to go, the first one is the lead jet, he is gone. Then I'm going to come up to the ball, and I see this is open. So when I see that throw, I won't do it if I see a hand there, I'll change the technique. But if I don't see that hand there, I know I can enter with lan da choku through the hole. Once you hit him here, he's a little bit, right? You bring this hand, you open this hand, and you bring it back to the elbow. Just like in Sinup Tao, you go, this isn't for fighting. You bring this back here, and you bring it tight to your chest. This brings Leo off balance. You bring him to you. Once you get him to you, you grab his throat. Step. He'll go down really easy, even if he's big. And you smash his head on the floor. Now I let him down nice. But if I was good, as we're working now, is lan sao to hold the line open so that a target area stays open. But we're also going to do, in this application, the lan sao is going to be slightly different. Because in this application, lan sao is going to be used like a fan sao whip grab. You guys familiar with that term, the fan sao whip grab? Well, fan sao whip grab is like when we're open, and okay, lap sao means grabbing when your hand is already touching the enemy. That's lap sao. And fook sao is when you make a bridge when there's no bridge. But lap fook, 2 punches, is when you grab and make a bridge out of the air, out of thin air. You grab the hand out of thin air. But you can't do this and expect to grab a punch. It won't work. So what you have to do is you have to whip your hand so it follows the punch and can catch up to it. And the example I always use is the old cowboy movies. One guy's riding a horse real fast, and the other guy's next to him, and you can jump onto the other horse. But you can't stand on a rock, and when the horse goes by, jump on the horse. You can't, because you'll fall. Well, what I have to do is I have to make my horse so I can jump onto that hand. I have to get my hand going the same speed. So in this case, normally fan sao brings the hand down to here. Usually it would be 1, 2, like this. But lan sao can also be a fan sao when you need to hold the target open, if that makes sense. So in this case, you're going to go jam, lan kick. So you're having, in this case, from here, your hand has to kind of go exaggerated. Right? And the reason you're using lan is because you want to kick. And then we have the same trap as before. So you're going to go jam, lan kick, pull him into the strike. Right? So slow as here. And you can tell that kick is really going to do some damage because the guy's going right into your foot. So you borrow his power. Okay? That's good.